We often make work harder than it needs to be, not because of the tasks themselves, but because of how we approach them, the pressure, the control, the unnecessary stress we add on top. But what if work didn't have to feel so overwhelming? Tonight, we reflect on the small shifts that can transform the way we experience work, not by changing the job itself, but by changing our mindset. Let's settle in. The night is quiet, and we have much to explore. Work takes up a significant portion of our lives, and yet, for many of us, it is not a source of joy, but a source of stress. We assume that being relaxed means being unmotivated. We believe that happiness and success cannot coexist. We think that if we're not constantly pushing, we're falling behind. But what if we challenge these assumptions? What if we allowed work to feel lighter? Tonight, we explore 7 small shifts, taken from Don't Sweat the Small Stuff at Work, that will help us approach work with less stress and more peace. Because the truth is, success does not come from suffering. It comes from clarity, balance, and perspective. 1. Dare to be happy at work. Many of us hold back our enthusiasm at work. We worry that if we appear too relaxed, people will think we're lazy. That if we enjoy our work too much, we'll lose our edge. But the reality is the opposite. The most successful people aren't the ones who grind the hardest. They're the ones who find joy in what they do. Happiness is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of resilience. The more content you are, the more energy, creativity, and motivation you have. So ask yourself, are you allowing yourself to be happy at work? Or are you waiting for circumstances to change before you let yourself enjoy the process? Happiness is not something you earn at the finish line. It's something you can choose now. 2. Let go of control. It's draining you. Most workplace stress comes from trying to control things we can't change. We stress over how others behave, the company's decisions, the speed at which things get done. But no matter how much we try, we can't control everything. What we can control is how we respond, how much energy we give to things we can't change, how we shift our focus to what actually matters. When we release the need to control, we don't become careless. We become free. 3. Stop living in the rat race mentality. We've been conditioned to believe that work is a competition, that we must move fast, hustle hard, and always aim for the next level. But here's the truth. You don't have to rush to keep up. You don't have to live in survival mode just because others do. The people who thrive at work aren't the ones who push the hardest. They're the ones who work with clarity, not panic. So pause, breathe, stop running for a moment. You might realize that there is no race after all. 4. Don't dramatize deadlines. They're not life or death. Deadlines exist, but most of the stress surrounding them is self-created. Have you ever noticed how much time people spend complaining about deadlines, panicking about deadlines, worrying about deadlines, without actually working on them? The deadline itself is rarely the problem. It's our reaction to it. If we approach deadlines with focus instead of fear, we waste less energy on stress and more energy on getting things done. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by a deadline, ask yourself, am I making this harder than it needs to be? 5. Create no phone time at work. We tell ourselves we need to be available 24/7, but constant connection is draining. Try this. Set short, focused periods where you work without distractions. Step away from your phone during breaks to actually recharge. Allow yourself to be present without the need to check notifications. You might be surprised how much lighter and more productive work feels. 6. Avoid corporate bragging. It's a waste of energy. Have you ever noticed how much time people spend trying to prove their worth at work? Subtly mentioning how late they stayed, talking about how stressed they are to seem important, comparing workloads to show who's working harder. But here's the thing, real value doesn't need to be announced. People who are truly confident in their work don't need to constantly remind others. They simply let their results speak for themselves. So ask yourself, are you working for impact or for validation? If you let go of the need to prove yourself, you'll feel a lot lighter. 7. Make the best of boring meetings. Meetings can be frustrating, but resisting them only makes them feel longer. Instead of complaining about them, checking out mentally, counting the minutes until they're over. Try shifting your mindset. Use the time to observe workplace dynamics. Look for one small takeaway you can apply. Engage just enough to make the meeting useful. It might not make meetings exciting, but it will make them less painful. Work is not just about what you do, it's about how you experience it. And the way you experience it is a reflection of your mindset, your choices, and what you choose to carry. So maybe, just maybe, work doesn't have to feel so heavy. Deadlines don't have to feel so overwhelming. Meetings don't have to feel like a waste of time. Maybe, by letting go of the pressure we put on ourselves, we can find a little more ease, a little more clarity, and a little more joy in the work we do. And perhaps that's enough. Sleep well.